And I'm just gonna say, "And rolling."
Yeah.
Okay, so we did our little sound check, and, we're looking good.
Good.
We're good. And then Michelle has started doing the, video recording as well,
Yeah.
so we might have
Yeah.
some of that for you guys
Cross our fingers.
coming up at some point soon, yeah,
Yes.
so
Yes.
and, but yeah, here we are. I think we're gonna be this will be episode 9, correct?
I believe so.
So, hello and welcome to episode 9.
Episode 9. There's a lot that we've done. And, well,
Is there
it's great. No, we've done like 9. This is our 9th episode. Like, come on.
Yeah, we're you know what? It's
Hey,
so
it's
what?
going to be double digits.
Right? We've arrived.
We have to be like kids in this whole thing, meaning everything we celebrate.
Okay, yeah. Well, I just okay, this is a great place to start.
And you know what? Soon, within this episode, we're going to hit 9 3/4.
Woo woo. Let's celebrate. I mean, the real sort of this will be how would I put this? Quantum rub is knowing when are we at 9 3/4. Like we almost have to jump ahead
Oh,
to like when the
yeah.
episode's gonna end. We're gonna
Jeez.
have to time travel to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Anyway.
I did switch it. So before it was counting beats when we were looking at the timing,
Mm-hmm.
and now we're counting in minutes.
Yeah.
So we could kind of know.
Yeah,
We could kind of
I think
guess.
we can. I have faith that we're
All
gonna
right.
be able to spidey sense that one. So we'll celebrate that. We'll have a little pause mid conversation. But I mean, I think you bring up just a great point in general. Like, let's focus on the wins and the good stuff
Yes.
and a little bit of carpe diem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny because I'll talk to people about the podcast, and it's like, what's it about? What's our purpose? Like having fun. Like right now, it's just me and my friend hanging, and
But you know what? Let's talk on that,
sure.
right? Because when we decided to start recording and we were naming this Now We're Talking, because I feel that a lot of the real estate buzz out there is typically centered around 2 different cities in Canada.
Hmm.
We're talking about real estate, Vancouver, Toronto,
Hmm.
right? Because those are the larger, hotter markets people
Hmm.
pay attention to. And they don't talk about like the cities, like maybe you get like the little blurb, but even within the cities, real estate is so local.
Oh
And
yeah.
so now we're talking about real estate and we're going to talk about what we want to talk about.
Which half the time isn't real estate.
Well, I think a good chunk of it is real estate,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
but
it's
we
real estate
do.
related, like
Yeah.
because I think that's a good point there too. It's like you know, it does sort of bleed into so many things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's interesting. So I want to touch on I was having a conversation with a realtor this morning,
Okay.
and it's kind of funny. So one, they asked if they could be a guest, and I was like, "How many episodes have you listened to? You better start listening." I'm like, "Whoa,
Really?
pump the brakes." Yeah.
Wow.
But it was okay, so the realtor,
Okay.
actually out of our OG office.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Who do you think does it?
can I can I guess?
Yeah, I would
I'm
like
gonna
that.
say Tomka truck.
Dave Tomzik?
Yeah.
David Tomziak? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It
It's
was.
am I
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I was like, "Whoa, how many less episodes do we even listen to?"
Right.
So I
Right?
promptly sent him an episode after we got off the phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
"You start listening and maybe we can talk." See what a play on
You
words.
know oh, yeah.
But okay, so he was also and this is like a bit of an inside joke with he and I, but whatever, maybe it'll come up if he does do an episode. But so basically we started at the same office, well, all three of us,
Yep.
and I would move to an office, and basically I would get him to move to the office, and then I would probably move to another office. So that's like, and I've done that a couple times. So then that's our inside joke, was like basically like, because
Yeah.
I've always like come to Elite, and he's like, "No way, the minute I do, you're gonna move." So I'm like,
Right.
fair. So this morning, we're circling back to your comment about, okay, people aren't talking about our markets. I mean, they are, because Remax Excellence has a podcast studio.
Well, that
So I'm
doesn't
like,
surprise me.
well, I just feel so generic now.
You know what? No. I mean, there's enough space for all of us, I
Oh,
believe,
for
right?
sure. But I'm just
But
like,
where's our studio?
it's here.
I know it's here, but
But
like in terms of brokerages, right? Like I think they have a podcast studio for anybody in the brokerage to use.
Remax Excellence does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Dave is saying.
Right.
Because he wants to give me a taste of my own medicine. He's like, come on over and
Come
I
on
will
over.
immediately leave the office.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So we had a
Right.
little joke about that.
I wonder if it's getting used a lot.
Well, I mean, I was definitely like a little like, I know podcasting is really popular. I can tell you that's Michelle and I are in it for the right reasons.
Always.
Always. But it's like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I like the fact that this took us years, even though we were
Yes.
taught like, and then it's like, okay, hats off to you because you really were like
Let's just
discovered
do
how
it.
to
Yeah.
get the space. Yeah, but it's like they're kind of being spoon fed it, which I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Whereas we kind of
yeah,
pioneered it.
yeah. Such pioneers,
Yeah.
such
Well,
podcast pioneers. But true, right? Like you know what I mean? It's like I think we had to take a little more initiative, I guess.
yeah.
All I think happened there, and by we I mean you.
But you always kind of have to stay a little bit ahead of the curve
We were.
on certain
Yeah.
things, right? And that came to mind. I was thinking about other things we could talk about
Hmm.
and adopting new technologies, new ways of doing things,
Oh my goodness, there's so much of that nowadays.
right?
Yeah.
And I think it's just accelerating,
Yeah.
right? Like, I remember when social media first started, and, I'd be in the office like, oh, yeah, I'm on Facebook. Like, let's go. And all of the older, all of the older agents would be like, "Mwah, Facebook, oh, that's just bad. They just weren't having it.
Oh,
They weren't
interesting.
doing it at all. And I'm like, you guys, like, I reconnected with so many people that I know for a fact I would not have
Yeah,
connected with and I would not have done business with if it wasn't
for sure,
for
for social
Facebook.
media. Grudgingly, I will say the same thing. Like, I don't, to me, I don't like promoting myself. Like, it's
Yeah.
just something that I feel like I do it. That's part of the job, but
Sheepish about doing.
it's not something I enjoy because I think I like being sort of classy and modest and, but it's like you have to kind of find a nice balance. And for me with social media, and I don't know if we discussed this or we discussed this on here, but it was like what I found was happening is I would see other agents on social media and like how I know it would appear to the public.
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't really the reality, but that didn't matter because that's not what was getting conveyed. And I'm like, but no, no, I'm actually doing what they're conveying that they're doing. So why
Yeah.
aren't I posting about it?
Yeah.
Right. So, and it did take some cajoling for me to even get where I am today. And I'm certainly not like a social media like whiz or guru, but I hold my own, I would sort of
Yeah.
suggest. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, but you're good at that. I mean, you've had a YouTube channel since, you're probably like channel 3, like
Ma- yes. Yeah. Yeah. But I've always been a little early to adopt things. Yeah. I've
interesting.
always
Good for
been,
you because people don't like change, but you know what I mean? Like they kind of, I'm gonna like stay with something, you know,
no.
you
Yeah.
like to jump to the,
Yeah.
yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like that, honestly, it's off. Like I don't like that. So for me, it's more, yeah, like,
Because I think by the time everybody, when things become mainstream or when a certain way of doing things becomes mainstream, um, and then you jump on board, like it's already too late.
oh,
You need to be on to the next thing.
totally. No, no, that's so actually that's a really good point too about for sure real estate, but anything, but it really applies in real estate. Like I love when people are like, well, how do you know when it's like the bottom or the top? And it's like, well, you only know once you're past it. By the time
Yeah.
you know, it's too late.
Everybody knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of like, back in before the dirty 30s when it was like oh, a stockbroker would say, I knew the market was going to crash because my shoe shine boy was giving me stock tips. Like
Right.
it's kind of, I actually, in '07, I had a little bit of a line
Right.
because, I had these clients, we'll say the ABCs is what I'm gonna call them.
Okay.
That's their name because we gotta
Yep.
stay anonymous here. But I was like, oh, when the ABCs are investing, like, because it was like everyone was an investor, everyone was building
Yeah.
real estate, everyone was
Right.
buying like homes on spec, and
And
I'm like,
flipping them.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, when the ABCs are buying, it's time to get out. Like these
Yeah.
people, nothing against them, but it's like that was not their wheelhouse whatsoever. Like, you know what I mean? It's
When
like,
the
whoa,
ABCs are buying, it's time to switch to the 1, 2, 3s,
yes,
right?
apples and oranges. Like,
Yeah.
it just gotta zag
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The market
Exactly.
is saturated. It is like on the brink of popping. So, and it was. So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So I guess the we need to figure out is like, yeah, just like staying that step or two ahead with whatever it is, right?
Right.
Like if
Right.
you can figure out what's coming in today's world,
Mhm.
like that's,
Well, do you remember switching to paperless?
I mean, obviously it happened. Do I remember it?
It
Not
happened.
really.
Well, I know that I was one of the first in our
Oh,
office.
I can't actually remember it, but I could totally see that being the case with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. And I did a little, like, workshop in the office trying to teach them how I did it,
Yeah.
because as we know, there are, like, 10 zillion ways to skin a cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so I showed them how.
Disclaimer, Michelle and I both love cats.
Yes, we are cat lovers
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a million way of doing things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, I'll show them how I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little clunky, but it certainly got the job done.
Mm.
And I know that when I was working with other realtors, they were really like impressed. They're like, oh my God, you do a lot paperless. And it's like, yeah. I mean, why not? Like before, you would have to have all of these different um contracts
Mm-hmm.
in triplicate.
Oh my God. Okay. So
Right.
so we used to triplicate, quadruplicate. So what
Oh,
is that paper card? It's not carbon copy because you didn't have, like, they were, but you didn't
yeah.
have that piece of like dark paper or whatever in between. There was, but
Yeah.
when we first started, so if you had like a listing agreement was probably 3, but the
Yeah.
buying agreement there was 4, and
Yeah.
it was it was so funny. You'd buy them from your office of the real estate board, and they were, and so yeah, you had to be really neat with your writing. Now
Yeah.
we do it all boop boop boop
Yeah.
online. Your engine, so
It
it's
was
like
like,
you
and
could.
the running joke was like, press hard, 3 copies,
Well, yeah.
right?
So the running joke, Michelle, get it right. Press hard. The bottom copy's yours. So, anyways, and
And that, okay, and for those of you who don't know or who can't remember, the bottom copy would be the faintest, right? Because
yes.
maybe that little piece of, it's carbon paper.
Yeah, but there wasn't actually that. I don't know how the carbon paper worked because I
No,
remember carbon paper where there was
yes,
like,
where it's like
yeah,
this black sheet of paper.
yeah, we
But
didn't have
the
that
but the other side had some kind of that, like,
carbon
pigment
quality.
ink,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's how
that
that must have
when you
worked.
would press hard with your
Yes,
ballpoint pen, which is what we were all signing with, right?
yeah,
The bottom copy would be
was
the most faint.
yeah, and that was usually it went to one of the clients. Like if it was a
Yeah,
listing agreement, you had the brokerage copy. Uh oh. Okay, let's say if you were writing an offer. So if it was an
yeah,
offer to purchase, you'd have a buyer and seller, and then like buyer's agent, seller's agent.
yeah.
But I feel like the listing still had 3 copies.
It was always press hard 3 copies.
Yeah, that's why I say bottom copy. I
Bottom
don't know how
copy's
many pages are
yours.
here. Bottom
Yeah,
copy's yours. Like kind of like I cut you choose or like
right.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
kind of like you better do this well because yeah.
And then for that, you would need to carry around like one of those, those, like, I don't even know what they're called,
Dr.
like a little,
Quill medicine woman bags.
no, a box with
It
the
was like
different
a box.
files on it.
Yeah, like an accordion box.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the back of your vehicle,
Yes.
but you would have everything. You would have offers to purchase,
Amendments,
listings, amendments,
extensions.
waivers,
Yeah.
addendums,
Yeah.
like you name it. And you had all these different
Doot,
forms.
doot, doot,
And you
doot,
had
doot,
to
doot,
make
doot.
sure like you were
Yeah.
kind of like not running out
Yeah.
and like yeah, no, it's just yeah, very different. How did we get on this?
Well, we're talking about adopting early now, how
Oh,
I
yeah.
switched to paperless. So
Yeah.
when I saw that there is a way
To avoid
to
this?
avoid this, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sign you
Right?
up. Yeah.
Beep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was absolutely ridiculous. And it was before even, remember, like you couldn't even email the copy of your contract. You had to write in a specific term saying that
Oh, yeah.
that you're allowed to communicate through
Email.
email.
I was in the business before you were even allowed to communicate through email. That's
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
had to fax things or in person.
Fax.
It was not
Yeah.
uncommon to maybe, hey, realtor, where are you? Like, it's easier for me to come physically meet you than to go to
Yeah.
my office, fax this to your office, have you get, like, like,
Yeah.
yeah, wild. Now we go into our software, pull up whatever form we need, enter it
Mhm.
all, like, with a keyboard so it's legible. Like, back in the
Yes.
day, it's like, is this an
Yes.
8 or a 0 or like, what are we even paying for this?
What
Yeah.
am I signing here?
Yeah. Well, and seriously though, right? Like it was depending on the parties involved and their penmanship, like, and that was the thing. So you'd go back and forth and like literally cross things out on these like old
Yeah.
school form. Like it, it got to be very messy
Yeah.
sometimes. So that is actually a really great thing about the paperless is like you literally go into, well, I use DocuSign, there's a
Yeah.
DocuSign, whatever, but it's like there's a literally a strike bar.
Strikeout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Like you're entering the price with actual like,
Yes.
typewriter key digits. It's yeah,
Yeah.
it's so that's all lovely. And yeah, and you PDF that stuff all over the place now instead
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
faxing or in person. Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
And then also too, there's a running timestamp of like chronologically when things get signed, when things get sent to each other, too, because like timing, like minute to minute timing is important with contracts too, right?
Sorry. I am I Michelle won't even know why I'm laughing. I'm
Please
this is
share.
oh, well, this is not I mean, I guess this maybe counts. I wanted to try and throw in, reverse chronological today into the
Oh,
conversation, and it went
wow.
chronologically. Um, so I think it quantifies I did, but is there a word for reverse chronological?
I mean, back in time, like, let's get the
Time travel?
DeLorean.
Yeah, exactly. Fire up the DeLorean.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
Anyways,
go.
thank you for that brief segue. I might explain more off air. Okay, so anyways, yeah, so it did have a chronological
Yeah,
order, but if you looked at it in reverse, it would be
and
chronological.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so whereas before you could kind of make stuff up a bit if it was in person
I
and
mean, not like I would do that.
I know. 'Cause so that was the thing. Things needed to be we have like yes, time is of the essence. That is a
Yes.
strong pillar of real estate
Yeah.
on so many levels. And yeah, like certainly yes, I think we did do that where it was like conditions typically it's 9 p.m.
Mhm.
So how many times do I have like 8:50, 8:55 even though it was after?
Yeah.
Don't you think? But all
Yeah.
parties knew and agreed. Oh,
Yeah.
that was wild what we used to do.
Yeah.
You would never do that now.
I
You
mean,
can't.
you can't. You
Yeah.
honestly can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, oh, that's so interesting because remember in a recent episode, we were talking about how even judging something today, on 20-year ago standards, like that was, like off the record, sometimes
Yeah.
a bit the norm,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And back then it wouldn't be unusual that you would be hopping in your car, getting signatures for something just because you knew you wanted, like, don't you remember
well,
2006 and 2007 when the
yeah.
market was really hot,
Busy.
and then you would have you would have your client in the car.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and Yeah, because you also weren't PDFing or docu-signing or like, they didn't have fax machines, like, you were meeting your clients to get
Yeah.
signatures.
Yeah.
So what I did love about that is there was no monkeying about with, like, GFI outlets at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
Like, the
Yeah.
extortion was much less.
Right.
Partly, I think, because of, like, the digital signing, but partly because there was, like, more honor in the gig back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
"What? You have beef with this,
No,
what?"
no, no, I know. I the only thing I have beef with is that back in the day, like, the nostalgia part, right?
Oh, like,
Oh,
Michelle, dare I say you can't see, but I think she's getting a little misty-eyed, and I'm not even kidding. No, you are.
Y yeah, I think don't you find that negotiations now take forever? Like, when you're countering back and forth? Like, I remember when once you presented your offer and you started negotiating, like, you would get that wrapped up in the night,
Yeah.
you know? But now it seems like sometimes it's like 2, 3 days, and you're still going back and forth.
You know, maybe there was a little more of the it's funny because I think now in days, it's like one or the other. Like, it goes lightning fast, and because you can, like, sign electronically, all of that,
Yeah,
it's that, or it is the 2 or 3 days, whereas before it was more of a happy medium, which I think actually rings true sort of across the board. This is a little bit of a tangent on one of our tangents here, but, like, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they're like, "How's the market?" Your favorite question.
yes.
And I said, "It's either, like, you get an offer right away or you're sitting forever." There's no, "Oh, I'm just gonna write on this 30 days on the market." Like, it's right now in real estate, everything is so like either it's instantaneous, so it's your negotiations and you're pending in 3 hours on paper, or
Yeah.
it's 3 days, or it's the opposite. But back in the day, it used to be really like Goldilocks, like somewhere in the it used to be just right.
Wow,
Don't
wow.
don't you think?
I thought it was a lot faster. Once you're presented your offer, you're getting back to them, like, within the hour in terms of counter, right? And it was just more going back to the time is of the essence. There was a greater sense of urgency, like, "Let's get this pending done." But now and I don't think it's because that we're in a different market altogether.
Okay.
And I think the irony is that we have better ways and more effective ways of communicating, right? Like text, phone calls, all that kind of stuff, that we've become lazy in a sense that
Oh,
it's
totally.
like, "Oh, well, they're not checking their phones yet," or, you know, they're on a shift and they can't get back to us. Like, before, you'd be by your phone and you would be waiting to hear back, and then you're
So
responding more immediately.
just to clarify, I think for the listener, you're referring to the clients, like, right?
I'm
And you're referring to all parties.
maybe, but at this point, I don't really know if it's the client.
Oh,
If
the
I'm on
agent or
one
the
side,
client, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so I guess just to explain a little, like, realtors, we should be as reachable as possible. Like, obviously,
Yeah,
you're not 24/7 available, but like, you can't receive an offer at 8 a.m. and think about presenting it at 8 p.m. Like, you need to then, at your next opportunity, reach out to your client, da da da. But your client, yeah, they can be a shift worker, they could be overseas at a different time zone. Like, there's so many things that can be going on. But I just would think with that, it's like, well, that just needs to be communicated with the other party, I think, to sort of just be an honorable agent, because then it doesn't look like you're playing games if
yeah,
there is something weird. And then if they're taking forever and they have no reason, then I feel like they're playing games.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So,
I don't know. I just think that I've noticed that the negotiating within a contract, going back and forth between the time that you've presented to the time it's pending has taken longer. Because, okay, so there's a part in the contract where it says how long this offer is open for.
yeah, there's an expiration.
Expiration date on the offer,
There
right?
can be. Some
There
agents fill it in, some don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the policy in our office is that, like, they always wanna see that filled
Fill
out.
I like to fill it out if I ever write an offer. If I receive an
Right.
offer, I don't wanna see that filled out.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. But most of the time, we're always amending that.
but that's fine.
Or you have to tell the other agent,
Oh, strike that when you sign off. Yeah, yeah.
either strike it when you sign off or please pay attention to
Yeah,
this line. We do have a timestamp on
yeah,
this,
yeah.
right?
We never used to timestamp though back in the
No,
day
we didn't.
because we didn't need to.
We didn't need to.
Do you know
That's my point.
what's actually funny is, I I think I don't know if I think each deal obviously is unique, and some of them, like, you're literally you send the offer, you hear back right away, you go back and forth a couple times, sign, you're pending. Some of them, not so much, and I find it just is deal dependent. Like, I don't know if I notice as much of a sway, but what I will say, like, from, 20 years ago to now, is I think there's and you can I want your opinion. I think there's a little more game playing now than there was 20 years ago, which I think could contribute to the gap in time.
In time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, certainly I can't sit here and say that I do not use time as part of a negotiation strategy,
Mhm. I agree.
for sure. And so maybe
So
that's
are you part of the
maybe I'm
problem?
part of the
Well,
problem.
ding, I think I found our problem right here. You've created this culture.
Eh, but I think that is perhaps maybe people are a little bit more savvy now?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that there is more of that in today's real estate than there was 20 years ago, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
'Cause I truly
Mm.
believe that that's where realtors, that's where you can separate the good realtors from the bad realtors, or the ones who are good negotiators.
Yeah, and that's kind of using everything you can use to your advantage. And if it's okay, so let's say I chat with my clients, I have a counter, and I was able to reach them immediately after I reached
Yeah,
the other agent. I'm not going to call them back in 5 minutes. And, like, there's extenuating circumstances, but usually, oh, I need to, whatever, like, deal with something else, do something, then I'll let them know.
right,
Oh, there is a little strategic, because but it's true. Like, it is such a game, and I tell clients even, like, you'll be familiar with these scenarios. Like, every once in a while, you get, like, a buyer and a seller, and it's like, "Listen, this is where I wanna end. I kinda think maybe you're there too. Like, can we just do this?" And if both parties are of that kind of mind, you can do that.
yeah,
But I'll have clients, and they're like, "We don't wanna do this dance," and I'm like, sorry, like, I need to lead you out onto the dance floor
yeah,
because we have to, because if we don't, the other party is, yeah, they're not going to respond in kind, and you have to do the dance. And so if you're going to make me dance, then I might take an hour or two to get back to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're the
yeah.
one who started the dance party, so I can't. Yeah.
It's like,
So
I'll come back when you're playing my music.
yeah, exactly. When my song comes on, you will hear my counter. So anyway, yeah, that's a little so I mean, I don't think that was or else maybe 20 years ago I just wasn't that savvy, but I don't think that was so much a thing, right? The timing. Like, it
Yeah,
was you kind of I think it was a little more transparent back in the day. Now it's all, you know, uh dry ice and, like, whatever, the smoke and
smoke and mirrors.
mirrors and, like I know, right? It is though, it is. And then
Uh,
and then you use the line, "Don't hate the player, hate the game." Like, I don't know,
mm,
right? Like, but I
mm,
do think I think, that's the thing. It's like, hey, like, I don't love it, but I know what it is, and, I'm not gonna, like, be leading the charge, but if I need to
yeah,
do what I need to do for my clients,
yeah,
then
yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow, that was a tangent.
yeah, where did we even what came
I was
from?
talking about going paperless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and here
yeah,
we are. Yeah.
in here.
Sharing trade secrets.
Yeah, but that's what's interesting too, is that when you would see, like, the other agent, like, you'd often be able to see the other agent on the other side, but sometimes I've done deals where I do not see the other agent at all.
Okay, so here's oh god, see them, talk to them. It
Oh,
is done.
like, heard their voice.
Yeah, sometimes it'll be a name that I, like, wouldn't know if it's male, female, whatever, and then I'm like, "Oh, I think I'm dealing with, like, a guy the whole time. Oh, it's a girl," or vice versa, right? Like, I don't even know that until, like, after keys are released and I see their picture or something. You know what I mean? Like, it could
Yeah,
be, like, Corey or Quinn or
right.
you don't even know, right?
Yeah,
So, and that's the thing, it's like, "Oh, I was dealing with, like, a guy. I didn't realize. I thought it was a guy." Like, that
right.
actually I can't remember, but that did happen to me sort of for sure in the last 6 months. I was like, "Oh, thought this was someone else,"
Yes,
but doesn't
yes.
matter. It
Yeah,
got done, but it just yeah, so but back in the day, you were on the phone, like,
yeah.
texting. I don't even think T9 was a thing. So
Oh,
because I think we did sort of review how, like, we had pagers and all of that, but yeah, you were on the phone, you were making calls. There was
yes.
no, like, texting back, "My client's at this," explaining certain things, whatever, like and you know what, though? We've talked about this, a phone call can
Yeah,
go so far, there's for sure a time and a place, and I think some agents, especially newer agents or younger, they don't understand that.
the phone
There's
call
yeah,
thing.
the phone
Yeah,
call is really can be can be your best friend and really kind of get you where you need to go.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but, I feel like this is, like, maybe a good place
Wow.
to hop
Wrap
off of our
wrap it up?
tangent. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, as always, thanks for listening, everyone. And
We'll see you next time.
all right, bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, let's download
Wow,
that. Yeah, I know.
half an hour.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, like, where should we go next? Oh, we should probably end it.
Wrap
Like,
it
yeah, I looked and it was, yeah.